Hi there, Old and Surly here. Today we're going down another LEGO Star Wars MOC rabbit hole that I've come across, which are these great lightsaber kits that come from a creator that goes by the name of Bricks in Lithuania. As you see, we have the original Anakin hilt as well as the second Luke Skywalker lightsaber hilt. Both of these are available as fully assembled kits that come with PDF instructions and all of the parts to fully assemble this. From Republic Bricks, which I am not being paid to do this. I bought these out of my own money. I'll say that several times in this video to avoid anybody saying, sure, you're saying nice things about these because somebody gave them to you. No, that is not the case whatsoever. And I think that you will find that both of these are surprisingly fun builds. They're extremely durable, and they just look great on display. And I think that I have found a new thing for me to start collecting as if I didn't already have enough. So we're going to talk a little bit about both of these. I'll give you my final thoughts, and we'll end with a couple of additional photos at the end of the video. So we're going to start off by taking a look at the Luke Skywalker hilt. This set contains just under 200 pieces and overall has some great detail and awesome scale in my mind. As you can see here, it's fairly large. It measures in at just about a foot exactly in length. The diameter and circumference of it fits very well in the hand. As you can see, it's scaled almost 1-to-1 in my opinion. It has good heft. It's light, but it's not delicate either, which is one thing I do like about it. Through the use of Technic assembly pieces and things like that throughout the center, it gives it that sturdiness without giving up a bunch of the granular detail, which is, again, something I really like in MOCs. I like my MOCs to be extremely displayable, overplayable, but this one is actually pretty nice on both fronts. It's a build that you could give to a younger builder and they would have fun putting it together, and they could have a little bit of fun swooshing this around and playing Jedi Knight with it and not have to worry, whoop, as I say that, this comes off. But this is held on by a single stud, so I'm not too worried about that. But overall, this thing is very well put together. Pieces don't generally just fall off of it like you did there. I actually put a little pressure, and I would probably say that is about the only spot that really has a little bit of delicacy to it, and primarily, again, because it's only held on by a single stud. But these other pieces, such as the actual control buttons, the end of the lightsaber hilt, and things like that, are all easily manipulated without any issues of them coming off. It holds very well. As you can see, I'm shaking it and moving it around and not having any major issues. So again, you could give this to a young fan of LEGO and they would really appreciate it. They could play with it. They could have some fun. And then when they're all said and done, they can display it very well with the included display stand, which does come with both of these. They both come with that, which I think is another bonus, because a lot of times you see creators for MOCs that tend to focus right on the main product, but then once you've got it assembled, how are you actually going to display it? So you have to come up with something that you probably build with whatever particular bricks you have on hand. It usually doesn't look as good as it really should if it had been designed for it. So he did a very good job of creating a standard type of lightsaber hilt stand here that you could use not only with these, but if you have the Lego Yoda lightsaber hilt that came out a while back, or any other type of MOC lightsaber hilt, I think you could build this and use these on multiple, and it would work quite well with just about all of them. As I mentioned, it's about 200 pieces, takes about 30 to 45 minutes. It goes together quite well. The build is a little repetitive because you are doing a lot of layers in here, but it's not overly boring in any way. I think that the variety of pieces that you use keep it interesting all throughout the build. And probably the only complicated area is this end piece, because he uses some very unique kind of multi-layer stud knot on top approaches to get these angular pieces on and to have some nice connectivity. And that's about the only one that's a little complicated, but if you pay attention to his instructions, which are very well designed and go together quite nicely, you shouldn't have any issues at all. And again, as I mentioned, the only drawback I really do have on this one is that belt clip, if you will, is held on by a single stud. That's probably, as I said earlier, the weakest area on it. But again, especially if you're like me and you just plan on displaying it, you're not going to have any major issues. But again, hand it to a child, they could swoosh this around, and outside of that piece maybe being a victim, you could have a great time with it overall. Up next, we have Anakin's hilt, and this one actually has more pieces in it than the Luke Skywalker, even though it's a bit shorter, mainly because of the large amount of detail and accessory pieces that are put onto the hilt, grip, and things like that. But you don't have a major difference in the amount. It's just a little bit over 200, whereas the Luke Skywalker was just under 200. Again, great use of existing Lego parts to create all of the buttons and dials that you see on this in there. It fits quite nicely in the hand. You can swing this around, move it around. Pieces are not flying off, which I have seen on some lightsaber MOC designs where you pick that thing up and it basically starts falling apart in your hand. This one, as well as the Luke Skywalker one, are very sturdy. All the buttons that are designed on this, you can move them around. There's no major issues with anything coming off of it. I will say that this design and this build was a little more fun, in my opinion, because it had so many unique pieces going into it. There wasn't a lot of repetition. Again, there is some because you are building a cylinder for the lightsaber case, but the amount of pieces that you're putting in it and the different designs, such as the studs not on top approach to attach these grip pieces, the way you design the actual lightsaber blade array and things like that, there's just enough variety that you have no problem with getting bored with this. It takes about the same amount of time, about 45 minutes to an hour, as the Skywalker one did. All the pieces in it are very well assembled, no major issues at all. I love the use of the Technic rods in the center to keep things nice and sturdy. I think that's probably one of the best things that really makes this stand out from some of the other MOCs. Some of them do not use those type of internal rods, and they tend to break and snap apart pretty easy. But as you can see, I'm moving this around, I'm swinging it around. No pieces are coming off, to include the belt clip, which goes on the bottom. That is probably the only piece that I had a little bit of confusion with, because in the instructions, it shows this at a slightly different angle to where you see the actual sections of it. But when you put it together, the way this bottom of this actual circular brick is, you can only fit it on at certain points, and it doesn't seem to quite line up with his instructions. But that's a very small thing. It's hardly noticeable, and honestly, I don't know if it's wrong in this position or not. To me, it looks fine. I don't think there's any problems with that. So I wouldn't even count that as a negative. It's just something to note if you get a little confused why you're not clipping this on in the exact same location, orientation to the rest of the pieces that you see in his instructions. Again, leaning into his instructions, they're very well detailed, very easy to follow. Again, I think both of these hilts will work quite well for young as well as older builders without any major issues. And the nice thing about it is the displayability is not sacrificing any of the playability. You could hand these off, you could do a nice little Jedi lightsaber pretend fight, or you could even possibly use these in some kind of MOC costume design if you were really feeling a little bit dangerous. On second thought, I might pull that back, only because these belt clips are obviously not for use as clips. I would probably say if you're going to do something like that, like for a Halloween costume, carry it around and be prepared to tuck it into something. I would not hang this off of anything because both of them are only held on by a couple of studs, and you'd end up playing 200-piece pickup before the end of the night if you did that. But again, it comes with the same type of stand as we saw in the other one. It goes quite nicely with the design, and I can't say enough good things about the fact that he includes that in the design. It's not something separate that you have to worry about to either buy or find instructions for, and again would work with any other generic lightsaber hilts that you might come across out there in the Rebrickable world or in the secondary market. So in conclusion, I would give both of these a solid 9 to 9.5 out of 10, if not a 10, because I really can't find any faults in these other than the small little weaknesses of both of the belt clip designs, because obviously they're there for display, not for actual use. But if that's the worst thing you can say about any type of build, be it authentic Lego sets or a third-party MOC, then you're doing quite well. So I would not hesitate to recommend these to somebody, especially somebody that is looking for particular display pieces to add, and they're looking for unique lightsaber designs, which Lego, for some strange reason, is not very eager to jump into. They've only offered some as those gifts with purchases and things like that. And I'm really quite puzzled why they haven't decided to tackle something like this, because obviously the MOC community was able to solve the sturdiness and the ability to add the granular details that make these easily identifiable. So I'm really puzzled why Lego would not not do it. And none of these parts are particularly expensive on the secondary market, so I can't see it as an issue of logistics or design. It's probably just the fact that they've got too many other things on their plate and they may never decide to do this. Or if they do, they might do something that replaces the diorama sets or the helmet sets or some type of niche Star Wars series that they could create and kind of spread out over several years. Again, these are available on Republic Bricks. I'm not getting paid to do this. I actually bought these with my own money, so I'm giving you my honest assessment of these. The cost on them is roughly 20 to 30 cents a piece, as opposed to the 10 cents that you're used to paying for a standard Lego set, or what most people think a standard Lego set should cost. You're paying a bit of that MOC surcharge, as we always talk about in these videos, as well as the fact that Timmy and Republic Studs, they obviously provide all of the pieces, saves you having to try to run these down either in your own internal inventory or trying to source them on Rebrickable yourself. So that is the give and take of buying assembled MOC kits, if you will, not assembled fully, but all the parts coming with the instructions. You're paying for the convenience and the ease of not having to go around and do a little bit of detective work to find all the pieces. I'm sure you could also look on Rebrickable and find similar types of lightsaber sets on there. But for me, I just caught these on a particular day as I was looking across the website. They caught my eye. I was a little hesitant because it seemed like the size of the bag did not make these come across as being the size that they ended up being fully assembled. So don't let that scare you. I promise you, the bag will seem small, but once you get this thing assembled, you are going to be very pleasantly surprised and happy with the fact that you get that full lightsaber as well as the display stand. So don't hesitate to pick these up, or look for other great designs by Bricks in Lithuania or any other particular MOC lightsaber creators out there, because I don't think you could go wrong. And this is my new secret passion. I can see myself kind of scouring around to find what other sets are out there, just so I can continue to expand this collection and really make that Star Wars Lego man cave come to life. So again, if you have any questions or would like some additional photos, have questions that you need answered in regards to the assembly if you decide to pick these up, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to answer any questions I can. Again, this is Old and Surly saying have a great day, enjoy your building, and keep on building. Oh, before I leave, one final insert in this. I wanted to show you, this is an example of a new one that I just purchased, the Mace Windu hilt. And this is what I was trying to get across when you see the size of the bag. It looks like a bag of parts, and you're thinking there's no way this is going to be a full-size lightsaber hilt. But again, once you get this thing and fully assembled, you should see something right along this same type of scale. So just bear in mind when you order these, it's not going to be some huge box set. It's going to come in basically a sandwich-sized bag, but the end result is well worth the time and effort. I'm already excited to get started on this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a full review video on this unless folks really want it, although I probably will do a speed video, time-lapse of the assembly, just for folks that might be interested in seeing this come together. So if you are interested in maybe me doing a quick review just to give you my thoughts on this one as well compared to these, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd be happy to maybe go ahead and knock out a review video on this and show some more pictures of all three of them together once it's fully assembled, along with the Darksaber hilt, which I picked up a little while back as well. So now, this is Old and Surly saying have a great day and keep building.